Right, it's 24 to go before 9. Before we wrap up this Thursday edition of the South African, South Africans have been promised smart cities for decades now, but are our cities smart or not, even working at all? City dwellers have to face blackouts, water shortages, traffic shortages, and rubbish on the streets. We've seen this on a daily basis. Not to mention high crime rates in CBDs. Our reporters are on the ground speaking to people of the city. In fact, we heard from Heidi Jokos in Johannesburg and Ronald Masinda in East London earlier. Joining us now is Nobesuthu Hejana, who is in the mother city. Nobesuthu, is living in the city of Cape Town any better? Good morning.
Well, William, I lost you there for a bit, but if you are wondering why we're inside, it's raining in Cape Town, and likely we are under the house of Miss Shahida here in Bonteheuwel. I mean, she's going to talk about, how she's working and the fact that, like you were talking about the rising cost of living, how are they affecting them? As a retired teacher, I mean, she has opted to, make herself busy in the house and also try to find other means to provide for her family. And now she is a full-time baker after retiring, working as a teacher. Ms. Shahida, I mean, we're talking about the impact of load shedding, and especially for people who are trying to make a living. You run a small business, if I may. So what is your challenges? What are your challenges going about doing your work?
My challenges is, right, as you know, load shedding is throwing us really apart. Like fridges breaks and the electricity is very high. If you had to bake, you had to put in your box at least 150 rand of electricity because you get so little electricity. So to make a living, you had to scratch and whatever you had to do to survive.
Yeah, and you were telling me, I mean, you're a retired teacher, and now this is basically your full-time job, and you're looking after your grandchildren. So tell me about, some of the challenges that you face, because we understand, for someone who's running their small business, obviously you need to buy oil, which is very expensive. Yes. So tell me about how you have to work around your budget to ensure that you at least put something on the table.
You see, if I get orders, and from that money, I had to put away to buy my ingredients. Like my caster sugar, it's also expensive. The coconut is expensive. Fish oil is expensive. Eggs is very expensive. So you had to budget so that you can have money to buy that stuff just to get something done and to sell.
Certainly. And just tell us about your location. I mean, is the business thriving under these difficult circumstances?
There's times I can come out of it, and there's times I'm stuck.
So what would you like to say to other people who are maybe like in your position? They're not working and maybe they've retired and they're also trying to provide for their families, but it's so difficult to do so based on the current, the cost of living and the impact of load shedding.
You see, if people want, then it's fine, we can go on with business. But if people say no, it's too expensive, then you are stuck with this. But otherwise, I'll say everyone who have something in mind to do must take the challenge to go forward and make something to have a business and to earn a living for yourself.
All right, thank you very much. Well, that was Ms. Shahida Musli. Basically on the table, these are some of the things that she's selling. She's making a living because, like she says, a retired teacher, and she was baking. You were telling me that you were baking from the age of 13, watching
18, from 18 years.
Watching your mother, and now the skill that you've learned, you're actually making a living for your family. And just tell me, when did you retire?
In 1920.
Okay, you forgot. It can't be 1920.
I'm 4 years now at home.
All right, I get you. Thank you so much. William, I mean, these are some of the things that some Cape Townians are doing to ensure that, I mean, they are providing for their children. I mean, we talk about the city, the infrastructure and so forth, but we also have to talk about the people who are trying to ensure that under these difficult times, they are able to provide for their families. I mean, we'll be going out also just to talk to other people about some of the challenges about the city infrastructure and what they would like to see change. We'll also be going to town to see those other businesses, big businesses, what sacrifices they have to make to ensure that business thrives.
And of course, all of these movements that Nobesuthu Hejana will be doing today, they have to contend with the floods that are currently falling in Cape Town at the moment as you and I speak. Heidi Jokos and Ronald Masinda also following that theme for today, looking at smart cities here in South Africa.